Hey love, and welcome back to another video. If you are new to this channel, I am Pauline, your lock educator, hair educator, your mentor, everything, okay? So I am back, and sorry about missing last week and probably the week before or the week before that. Sorry y'all, life been lifing, and sometimes I gotta deal with my mind before even coming on. Because I want to give you guys the best. Okay, so let's get into this video. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about thinning locks. So there are different things when you're thinking about thinning locks, right? So you have people who have locks that thins out at the root or the base. And then you have people who have locks that thin out, along the strand of the lock. Okay? So the type of thinning, well, the one I'm going to be talking about is the thinning locks at the base. Okay? Not at the along the shaft of the hair or the shaft of the locks. Okay? So first of all, and I got my notes to stay on track because somebody had commented on one of my channels about a year ago saying that I need to, I don't know what they said, like I need to have like a guide so I don't go off script, because basically they said I needed to have something scripted because I kept repeating myself. And I know I do that a lot. So thank you for the comment. And I have been using notes for about some time now because I don't want to keep rambling and making long videos. So let me not do it. Let me not do it on this video. Let me get to it. Okay, so when it comes to thinning locks, right, one of the things we have to think about the cause of thinning locks. So if your locks are thinning at the base, the root, there's something going on. Something is happening to cause the thinning to take place, right? So when you start, when your locks start to thin out, and this is not going to be for everybody, don't be thinking, oh, I got locks, so automatically my locks gonna thin. No, ma'am. No. I've been locked since 2001. No, not 2001. 2000. Yeah, I've been locked since 2011. And I do not have any thinning locks. The only time I experienced thinning locks was when after my babies, 3 months after giving birth, I went through postpartum shedding, and my locks around my hairline thinned out. So, and for everybody, it's going to be different. Some people have thinning around, if it's postpartum shedding, you might have thinning around the hairline. You might have thinning in patches. You might have thinning all over. But the good thing about postpartum shedding, for the most part, it comes back. Now, I have met some people where they had their hair fell out, and it did not come back in certain areas. So do be mindful of that, okay? Because, everybody's different. So here are some of the reasons why you might have some thinning at the base of your locks. It could be due to hormonal imbalance. So I mentioned I had some thinning with postpartum shedding, and that is due to a hormonal imbalance. After having a baby, your hormones are all out of whack, okay? So you go through this hormonal imbalance period, and sometimes it's for a whole year. They say like it takes 2 years, about 2 years, for the woman's body to get back to its previous state. It takes 2 years after having babies for your body to recuperate. So think about that. It takes some time for your hair to come back. So when people tell me, Pauline, I just had a baby, I want to lock my hair, I say, wait till that baby turns a year. Because after a year, your hair, you should have gone through the postpartum shedding and you're at the place where your hair is growing back. So it's good to lock then. But if you just had a baby and it hasn't been a year, you will probably end up putting these locks in and they're going to fall. Some of them you're going to have shedding, and it's just a waste. So do it after a year. So hormonal imbalance. That hormonal imbalance could be, like I said, postpartum shedding, menopause. If you're going through menopause, your hair, for most people, is going to shed, is going to thin out. You're going to lose some hair. Okay. So postpartum shedding. If you had some type of surgery, an intense surgery, you're gonna experience some hair loss. One of my nurses says one of the when you go under anesthesia, it does cause some hair loss in some people. They don't tell you that, but that causes hair loss. So and it's not for everybody, y'all. Like, take everything what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because not everything will apply to you. So there are other hormonal imbalance. If you're having thyroid issues, if you had weight loss surgery, your hair will thin out. It's a lot of stuff. Anytime you're taking something that's going to create some cause and effect, do know that your hair might take some of that, might get some of that effect as well. So when in anything you're doing, if you're changing your diet, anything you're doing, if it affects your body, it's going to affect your hair. And then with the hair, it's usually the last that take a hit. So be mindful of that when you start thinking of seeing that you're having some hair loss. Think about, have I changed my diet? Have I not been on top of my diet? Think about, have I had any surgery in the last 3 months? Because sometimes it takes about 3 months for your body, for your hair to start showing the effects of something you did 3 months ago. So like having a baby, you're not gonna plop out the baby and the next day you're seeing shedding. It takes about 3 months. You're like 3 months in, 4 months in. Some of y'all be like, "Ooh, my hair ain't shedding," and then the 4th month hit, you're like, "Dang it, I'm having some hair loss." And some of y'all wear braids and all this other stuff during your pregnancy, during the baby's first year. So a lot of times you're not seeing it. But if you are loose natural, or if you have locks, you gonna see it. Okay, so. And I'm sure there are other things that I've left out, but think about those things when it comes to hair loss. So that's all hair loss internally. Some external things that can cause hair loss is tension, too much tension with your locks. If you have somebody retightening your hair too tight, you're styling your hair too tight, you're pulling your hair back too tight, and some of y'all be like, it'll be tight. But if you can feel it, trust me, your follicles can feel it too, okay? Matter of fact, your follicles was the first thing that felt the pulling before you probably started feeling it. So tension, too much tension with the hair can lead to traction alopecia, which can cause thinning in your locks. So be mindful of that. Also, if you have scalp inflammation will most definitely cause thinning in your locks. And the scalp inflammation can be caused by a number of things, and you won't know it until you go see a dermatologist to see if you have some scalp inflammation going on. And that, with the scalp inflammation, that's internal as well, because it might be what you're eating or what you're not doing, things like that. It could be external too. It could be caused by certain products you're putting on your scalp that necessarily don't agree with your scalp, or y'all be putting these products on y'all scalp. Y'all don't shampoo your hair often or do anything like that, so your the pores get all clogged up and causes your scalp to be inflamed, and it could be a whole bunch of things. So those are some of the causes of thinning locks at the root. Okay, so if the causes of any hair loss goes untreated for too long, you will continue to lose your hair, and at some point it might be too far gone for anyone to do anything to help you with getting your hair back. There are a lot of things that people in the hair loss community that they're working on to help you gain your hair back, but taking the first step by making sure you are addressing and taking care of your hair and body, taking care of your scalp early on will help avoid some of these hair loss that a lot of people are experiencing. So those are the things that cause thinning, and that's what can happen if you keep doing what you're doing, not paying attention to what's going on in your body. You can continue to experience those hair loss. Not all hair loss are permanent. Some are temporary. Like hormonal hair loss, that's temporary. It can be fixed. Nutritional hair loss, that's temporary. You can get it corrected. Traction alopecia, it's temporary for the most part, but if you continue, listen, the follicles can only take so much time. Once your follicles die, it's gone. Okay, so you have to be, if you start noticing some things going on, start looking back, be like, hold up, what's going on? Think about it, like, oh, okay, I did this surgery, that's what's happening. Oh, okay, I did this, that's what's happening. So just be mindful of that, okay? Now, some people, I see people contact me for, hey, can I schedule a repair? I want a repair. And when I see, and I'm like, okay, let's look at what needs to be repaired. And when they come talking about, I have some thinning right here, they want to know, can it be repaired? Honestly, the repair that when they come to me, the repair they're looking for is extensions. And I am not against extensions, but I am against extensions when you're putting extensions on already struggling strands of hair. If you have thinness at the root, extensions is not the answer. Because think about it, extensions is just more weight on the few strands that is left. So extensions will do you a disservice. If anything, the extensions will pull your hair out. Okay. So if you go to somebody and they're like, yeah, I got you on the extensions, run, because they're just thinking about the money. They're not thinking about your hair 5 years down the line. And if you're having thinning, it's not going to take 5 years with extensions for your hair to come out. It might come out while they're doing the extension, or within a year or so, that whole area gonna be bald. You're like, what's going on? So extensions is not the answer when you have thinning at the root, okay? Because the weight of it, and y'all got to think about these extensions. If you already have something going on with your scalp and you have not gotten it checked out, extensions, they have chemicals. What if your scalp is just struggling from a chemical, maybe, what if your scalp don't agree with chemicals, right? And now you're going to go add extensions that has been processed a certain way that potentially have chemicals on it, and now you're putting it on your head and then you're putting it on the scalp because you're attaching it to the scalp. So extensions for thinning hair at the root, for thinning locks, is not the answer. Can it be repaired? What I tell people is, until you go to a dermatologist, trichologist, and start getting that hair to grow back, there's not much we can do topically. Now, some people do combine the locks, but that does not take care of the problem. It might just make it's going to make the lock stronger, but it doesn't take care of the internal problem. So I always caution people to take care of the internal problem so you can get your hair to grow back. So when people say, should I repair? I'm skeptical about the repair, because the repair that you're thinking about or want to do is not going to be the best for you. If anything, you can, as far as repair, the only type of repair you can do is after you have some hair coming in. Then you might be able to do something with that. But if you have no hair coming in, what is there to repair if there's no hair to work with, right? So think about that. So if you're thinking about, okay, well, Pauline, I'm hearing all of this. Thanks for educating us. But what is the solution, girl? Okay, well, the solution is go see a dermatologist. And if your dermatologist is just looking at your scalp and talking about, okay, well, be mindful of tension. Baby, I could have told you that. They need to be telling you something more, because if they're not going further into looking into your scalp, seeing what's going on and giving you some type of solution, just go to somebody else. So I say go to a dermatologist, go to a trichologist. A lot of trichologists work with, dermatologists. And if anything, I would say go to a trichologist first, because sometimes they can recommend you to a dermatologist that they're working with. So if they're working with that dermatologist is going to be effective. They're going to be on it. They're not just going to look at your hair and be like, well, take this oil drop, and they didn't do no analysis. If they didn't put you in no type of machine to see what's going on, if sometimes they do a scalp biopsy, sometimes, they do different things. If they ain't doing none of that, what we doing? What we doing? So they got to be able to give you some answers. I remember one of my clients, she's over 65. She's retired. She's over 65. And she was like, so I noticed her hair was thinning. I said, your hair is thinning. She had long locks down her back. So before y'all say, oh, it's the weight of the locks. When you have Sisterlocs or Microlocs, your hair isn't heavy. Your locks ain't heavy. I've had my locks down mid-back and it's not heavy. So it's not the weight of the locks that's thinning or pulling your hair. Now, if you have traditional locks, that's different. But if you have Sisterlocs, Microlocs, them things, they lightweight. It's not heavy. So she was like, well, maybe it's the length of my locks. I said, well, you can still trim it if you want to, but I don't think it's the thin length of your locks. And her husband was saying, well, baby, you're getting old. So, as you get older, your hair thins out. Yes, in some cases, that's true for some people, because by the time you hit the age of 30, your hair growth cycle reduces. It starts going down. So your hair is not growing as much or thickening, as much as it used to. It starts to, child, with age, everything start going downhill, okay? And hair, unfortunately, is one of them. But at the rate her hair was thinning, I'm like, something else is going on. And I told her, you need to go see a dermatologist. 6 months later, she still ain't go see a dermatologist. I said, you need to go see a dermatologist, because every appointment, Pauline was going over my hair. Pauline is thinning. Pauline, oh my God, it's just thinning. It's just thinning. And my question is, did you go see a dermatologist? Did you go see a dermatologist? Because, baby, yes, some oils can help. Hair growth oils can help, but you have to be working with a clean slate. If you putting a solution on top of something that has not been resolved, we're doing a disservice here. So she finally went to go see a dermatologist, and that dermatologist was top tier, okay? She's in Atlanta. She was top tier and told her, you have inflammation in the scalp. The dermatologist gave her something to take, some type of mix. It had like zinc. What else she said it had? I can't remember, but I do remember zinc was being one of the solutions in the mixture she gave her that she had to take orally. And then she gave her a scalp drop oil to put on her head, to put on her scalp. So, and literally 3 months after, now keep in mind, it takes y'all 3 months to start seeing what's going on after anything, after a baby, when menopause kick in, after you had the surgery. It takes about 3 months for you to see that you're losing your hair. But when you start any type of treatment, it's going to take about 3 months for you to start seeing some results, okay? So it took about 3 months, and I was like, baby, your hair is coming back in. So her hair started coming back in, and I did take a video of, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. She's been, it's been, I think, over a year now since she's been seeing the dermatologist, and you can see the difference where her hair was nice and thick, and then it thinned out, and then it was now back nice and thick because her hair started coming in. So definitely, I always encourage people to see a dermatologist, because they take care of the scalp. They take care of the internal. They can tell what's going on internally, right? So see a dermatologist, see a trichologist, do blood work to see what your body is missing. You can with blood work, you can tell if you're deficient in something. If you're deficient in this vitamin, that it will tell you what you're deficient in. So blood work is good too. And a lot of times when you go see a trichologist, some of them going to tell you, go get blood work done so we can see what your levels are, because they want to check your levels, and your levels will be able to tell them what you're deficient in, so they can help you come up with a regimen to kind of help you with getting your hair back. Okay. Nutrition, you're gonna have to start eating better. Some of y'all don't take y'all vitamins. I'm guilty, child. I'm not consistent with taking my vitamins. I'm guilty. But you gotta be make sure you're eating your fruits and vegetables. Make sure you taking vitamins, making sure that you have what your body's getting what it needs to be able to have things working and growing like it should. Your hair is the last to get anything. So baby, if you're not taking enough of something, your hair gonna be like, hello, I'm still back here. Did you forget about me? So make sure you taking your vitamins. Do scalp analysis. Go get a scalp analysis done to see what's going on. Sometimes having that visual will help you to see what's going on. And that's something I started doing as well for my clients, doing scalp analysis for people who book a service for scalp analysis, scalp detox, and stuff like that. Once you do a scalp analysis, you can do a scalp detox to see, the scalp analysis is to see what's going on. The scalp detox is to get your hair, scalp clean and everything else. Because once you detox the scalp, exfoliate, it's just, you're setting the ground for healthy, growing hair. Okay. So those are some of the solutions that you can do to help prevent thinning locks. Once again, if it's hormonal, it does, it's not permanent. It will come back, but you also have to make sure you're doing certain things to kind of help it not to be a drastic change. I know for me, after having my babies, I stayed on prenatal for over a year after that, just so I wasn't losing my hair too much. Like my hair thinned out some, but it thinned out and I didn't lose any locks. Some people, I've noticed that some people who don't continue with the vitamins. What do you call those? You know, the vitamins that pregnant people take. I can't think. Prenatal vitamins. There's prenatal and postnatal vitamins. So I took prenatal vitamins, and after the baby, I took postnatal vitamins. And so although my edges, my hairline did thin out some, I didn't lose a lock. People who don't take postnatal vitamins, that I've noticed is that they've lost actual strands of lock. I had one client, she lost 20 locks in the front. Now her hair grew back, and we were able to reattach those locks when the hair that grew back was long enough to attach those locks too. But yeah, I hear that her hair had to grow back in before we can attach locks. We can't repair when there's no hair there. Ooh, that rhyme. So just kind of giving you guys, you know, something to think about. So yes, so that's it for thinning locks. If you have more, we'll be talking about this more. If you have more questions, definitely drop them in the comments, and I'll be happy to do more videos about those questions. Also, I am going to be starting a private lock community for me to be able to help some folks more in depth. So that will be coming soon. I'll probably just do it through YouTube, where you can not subscribe, you know, do the membership, and we'll do more, you know, private, intimate, more detailed stuff. We can even personalize information for you guys. So stay tuned. Keep looking forward to more information, and I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and ask your questions below, and I will join you in the conversation in the comment. Okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.